Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. I appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Much appreciated in advance. I've been waiting to talk to you about this game for a very long time. I'm trying to figure out ways to get you some footage. Basically, I want to play it, right? And I finally figured out how to make that happen. So today, this episode will be about my all-time favorite version of Street Fighter, the most complete version of Street Fighter that I've ever played on a home console, Street Fighter Alpha 3 for the Dreamcast. Now, what makes this game the most complete Street Fighter package when I say that? Well, let's first and foremost look at the character selection, right? Now, if you played any of the Alpha games, this game has all of the characters that were in the Alpha games, plus a few more, like the two Cammy girls, Evil Ryu, Shin, Akuma. So it's like, when I say I want all the characters from a fighting game series, this is what I was talking about. So when I first saw this on the Dreamcast, I was super excited because usually there was some sort of caveat with a console version of a game. You know, there was always a character or so that wasn't in there, or, you know, some little detail about the game that was gone. But this game has everything and more. Like just the menu when you start the game up and they have all the options there. Like, there are so many options for gaming in this particular one that, you know, you got to highlight it, right? My favorite, of course, is the World Tour mode, right? This is where you get a character and you level them up essentially. And based on the ism that you pick, it will level up certain stats as well as the characters that you face. And then there's all of these different enhancements and attachments and like just modifiers to your character. Not even talking about the fact that if you had a VMU with this particular game, that you could put your World Tour character on the VMU, take it to school, and if somebody else had a VMU, lock it in. Now, that's that one part about somebody else having it would be the only issue, but either way, right? Just the very concept of having that type of thing going on with a video game, much less a fighting game, is just amazing, and I'm really upset we've never had anything else. Again, this is a prime example of Capcom just leaving money on the table with their releases. But back to Street Fighter Alpha 3, enough about the company who makes the game but doesn't do what I want them to do, right? So you get to level these characters up, and this is just a way, you know, this is like a ultimate single player experience. Now, granted, this isn't going to get you an indie or anything like that, but you do have the option of doing that. If you want to do a arcade mode, you can do that. You know, we still got the standard versus mode. I mean, you just, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it in Street Fighter Alpha 3. Now, of course, I'm going to be playing with variations of Akuma because, you know, why wouldn't I? This is what we do. But you have team battle mode, you got dramatic battle, which dramatic battle was something that I didn't even know about until this version of Alpha 3, where, you know, it's basically a 1-on-3. And everybody's moving simultaneously. Now, the only thing about dramatic battle is if you get caught, you know, in the sandwich as the 1 versus 2 fighter, that's a bad spot to be in. But it makes for some hilarious and fun gameplay sequences. And if you survive the 1-on-2 onslaught, right, you know, more power to you. Like you feel like a big shot. You feel like a bit of a badass. You know, I just beat a 2-on-1. Or you can have the 2-on-2 if you got 4 controllers. Again, this is a Dreamcast game, so we have 4 controller action, which is another bonus, right? So they want to take advantage of that. And this is what I mean about putting everything you can into a game. Like, one, this is Street Fighter Alpha 3, which probably is my favorite Street Fighter series, just because I felt like there was no wasted character slots for me personally. Like, there's always going to be a couple characters who I just don't probably want to play with too much, but I always felt like the Alpha series had got to the point where we had everybody we wanted that was new, you know, like Armika and Birdie, which technically Birdie was in Street Fighter, but, you know, whatever, it's a weird version of him. But you had like a guy coming in from the Alpha, from Final Fight to the Alpha series. You had Cody coming in to the Alpha series. I really thought we were going to get Hagar in this series, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? We had so many people. You know, you had Rolento, Sodom, Gin, Karen, like, you know, Sakura. Like, there's just, it's perfection for me for Street Fighter as far as that lineup of characters. And I really felt like this was a game where I could just play it by myself as much as I played it against people. And for me, that's always one of the biggest tests for a fighting game. It's like, do I feel like playing this game, not even just on some lab and stuff, but like, do I play this after I've learned how to play it, after I've learned, pretty much as I'm going to get out of practicing this? Like, do I play this when I'm by myself? And this version is definitely a game I played a lot of by myself. Then there's this really cool mode, like I said, about getting the endings. If you want to get an ending, you could just go fight Bison. Now, you must understand that this version of Bison is also my favorite version of Bison, because this is the Bison who is on, as we should say, the juice. He has the Shadowloo super bar, and his whole thing is to get you to commit to an attack that's bad for your health, so he can hit you with this super version. He has the Marvel vs. Capcom version of the Psycho Crusher, which I just thought was fantastic to give him. And he is not out here for games. It doesn't matter if you're playing with Shin Akuma, Zangief, for you, whoever you trying to bring for him, he's with it. He's about that action, and he's gonna give it to you. And I like that. I like a boss character to just be like, I'm here for it. I'm stronger than you, and let me show you why I'm stronger than you. And then if you beat him, you get to see your ending, which is great. But if you don't, you get to see his ending, which I always thought was funny. Like, now you're gonna watch me stun on you for a little while. You can skip it if you want to, but I just thought that was just such a great touch that you can just go straight to the boss if you want to. Now, if you do the actual arcade mode, you get the extra encounters and interactions you get with other characters in your particular story. But again, if you just want to see an ending, Bison's got the ending for you. Come get it. But I've played this game a lot. I'm sure that some of you played a version of Street Fighter Alpha 3. If you are a Street Fighter Alpha fan and you have never played the Dreamcast version, do what you got to do. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And I invite you to play this. You will never be disappointed in Street Fighter Alpha 3 for the Dreamcast. It's one of the reasons why I hold the Dreamcast in such high esteem. It's just, Sega always was on it when it came to making something that the arcades could port their games to, especially with the Saturn, and then even more so with the Dreamcast. So I really wanted to, highlight this version of Street Fighter because I really enjoy it. And as you've probably figured out, this is one of my favorite series, probably my favorite fighting game series. So always want to, show love, and we have a handful more of Street Fighter Lite games, so get ready for them. But I want to hear from you and your thoughts about this particular game. Did you ever link up the VMUs? I know my friend Marquise had the VMU, but I don't think I ever remember seeing anybody else with one. And by the time I had a Dreamcast that had one, we were way past it, so it didn't ever get to link up memory cards. But yeah, as always, appreciate you watching the video. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.